Hello, loves. Welcome back to WitchyMarlaina's Ghost Adventures. I'm your host, WitchyMarlaina, and today I'm back into my spookiest objects book, and today's object is really popular. It's called the Dybbuk Box. Now, this box comes from Europe. Its origin at this point is unknown. Okay, let's get started. 1930s. A Jewish immigrant by the name of Heleva comes over to America with this heirloom box. Now, this box was pretty big, and it must have been really special to her because it would have been something that you would have left because of the bulkiness of it. But no, she didn't leave it. She brought it to America and she protected it. She lived until she was 105 and she passed away in 2003. And this is when her family started to call up an auction house and antique stores to pretty much buy off or sell off her stuff. Okay. Now, the word Dibbuk is Hebrew for cling, and a Dibbuk box is to hide away an evil entity that is trying to cling onto objects and people. Okay? So when they're talking to the antique dealers, they're like, okay, in clear conscience, we have to tell you that this box has some evil stuff going on with it, and if you're not going to be able to sell this box, you can't sell any of my grandmother's stuff. Kevin Mannis is the antique dealer that they're dealing with, and he says, fine, not a problem. He keeps the Dibbuk box in his office after all the rest of Heleva's stuff was sold off. And that's where things get a little strange. The following morning, an employee of Kevin Mannis's was opening up shop. Nobody was in there. Everything was locked. And she said she heard something or someone rummaging through Kevin's office. And Kevin's office was locked. She said she heard lots of clanging. All the light bulbs busted. So she was in the dark. She smelled an awful odor. They say it smells like cat urine, which, oof. So all the light bulbs busted, cat urine smell, moving and objects going crazy in Kevin's office. She got so spooked out that she quit that day. So Kevin's like, okay, what the hell is wrong with this box? So he actually opens it. He opens the box to find some, what he calls lady trinkets. He found two 1920s pennies. He found a goblet, a cord wrapped around with black hair, a cord wrapped around with blonde hair, a dried out rose, a candelabra, or like a little candle holder, and a statue that had engraved in Hebrew Shalom. So again, thought that this was just a box of trinkets. Not thinking anything of that. After he opened the box, he went home and was having horrible nightmares. Absolutely horrendous nightmares. Demons and being chased and just insane. So now it's time for Kevin to get rid of the box. So what does he do? He gives the box to his mom for her birthday. So she comes into the shop. He sits her down, goes, I have a present for you, opens it up and says, here, look at this beautiful wine cabinet, blah, blah, blah. And then he has to leave and take a phone call. From interviews I've heard of Ida Mannis, who is Kevin Mannis's mom, She says that it looked like the box was staring deep into her, and she didn't even really want to touch it. But when she did, the weird thing about this box is that it had 2 flap doors and then a pull drawer underneath. So 3 openings, but if you pull the drawer underneath, everything opens up. So Mrs. Mannis pulled the drawer underneath and the whole Dybbuk box opened up, and she said she felt a cold breeze just hit her in the face. And at that moment, she was having a stroke. Kevin had to call the paramedics. She's fine. She recovered beautifully. But before, she was trying so hard to communicate with Kevin to get rid of that damn box. And all she could say is, she's pointing at it, just get it away. And she does. She said that box is evil. Okay. So what does Kevin do? Kevin gives it to his sister. He tries to pawn it off on his brother. None of them want it. They give him back within a week, if not sooner. So he's like, okay, let's do this wonderful thing called eBay. He puts the Dibbuk box on eBay and he sells it to a couple. They take it. The following morning, it's on his doorstep with a note that says, there's darkness in this box. He's like, okay. So he tries to sell it again. He does. He sells it to a man named Kevin. Oh, Kevin. Oh, Haxton. Jason Haxton. Kevin is Mantis. Jason Haxton was an owner of an osteopathic medicine museum. He gets the box. Same stuff is happening. Everybody has experienced the awful odor, all of their light bulbs being busted. And Jason starts having some severe health issues. His teeth, he was having issues with his teeth falling out. His hair was falling out. All of these medical phenomenon that nobody can really diagnose. So Jason's like, okay, let me call Kevin back up and say, hey, listen, we need to get to the bottom of this damn box. We need to find the history of it. They were able to find a relative of Heleva by the name of Sophia. Now, Sophia had a story to tell. When Sophia and Heleva were young, they decided to play with a spirit board, Ouija board, and they conjured up a being. So in the Jewish faith, they created this Dybbuk box to trap the being that they released, and Heleva had protected it with all of her being until her dying day. She's not here to protect it anymore. So now Jason's like, okay, what do I need to do to put the genie back in the bottle, to put the demon back in the box? He goes to rabbis and he gets some information that he needs to create a Ark of the Covenant. It needs to be gold and it needs to be wood, and that would trap it back in. I don't really know if Jason really did that, but I know that the Dybbuk box is supposedly unknown location. From what I gather, Zach Bagans has it in his Museum of Death in Las Vegas. Now, I don't know if that's the original or if it's a replica of it or what, but I wouldn't want to play with it. No. And fun fact, Post Malone did. Him and Zach Bagans, they actually touched the box. I don't think they opened it, but Post Malone said he saw a black figure and something touch his shoulder. And after that, his plane almost crashed. He got into a car accident and he was almost robbed. So, again, I don't play with spirit boards, Ouija boards. Nay. What portal you open, you are not talking to the people you think you are. And that's just a gateway for, it's almost like a spirit highway. Nope. There you have it. The Dibbuk Box. And again, thank you so much for joining me on my ghost adventures. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.